Shout out to everybody here on the live Bitcoin. Get through 86,000, 85.5. Not like they want to liquidate these shorts all the way back to 86,400. I mean, the longs looks tight right now at 85.5. We'll see what happens for BTC. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Crucial times for Bitcoin here. 85,800, kind of a key level that I was looking at for BTC. We're going to jump on into it, see where we go here for Bitcoin. Shout out to everybody here on the blast. Loving you. Loving you. This is a blast. This live stream is a blast, man. I love you. That's why I call it a blast. God bless everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Are you staying positive today? Is today going to be one of the greatest days of your life? I know it is. Are you going to tell someone you love them? Are you going to be there for one of your friends? Maybe you're going to do something amazing. Maybe you have a patio project you're going to start today and you're going to break ground and you can't wait to get your hands dirty, man. Those are my favorite days. I don't know about you. When I know exactly what I'm going to do today and it's all planned out and I'm going to be outside working with my hands, baby. I was talking to my buddy Robert about working with my hands, man. You got me excited today. I really can't wait to build patios, do all sorts of fun stuff, man, this summer. I love the good weather, man, and it's been nice here in Florida all the time, but I'm going to be actually at a property I can actually touch, not in an HOA, you know. So, Bitcoin, 85,730. Let's take a look-see. And, you know, I have that trade on week still open because we never broke the 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame, so that's long-term. Since then, we have taken massive profits in a bunch of other trades that have been up nice, all right? And you can see people like Rave Song Records banging on him right there. He made 200 bucks last night before he went to bed on a quick little 200x scalp. This man's 200xing out of his mind, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He nails it. I was already up this morning, 200 bucks. We'll take a look at one of those trades. It's up 200, still ripping as we got it into 84,005. And then last night we were up massive gains too as well. In the trade, I ended up closing a trade when I woke up this morning for well above $400 in gains. So the gains just keep coming. Bang, bang, bang. I had a Bitunix and a MEXC trade open too. Yesterday we made gains. That was a $100,000 trade. That was 378 bucks. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So it's been good. The Bitcoin calls have been ripping in the channel if you've been with me. And a lot of them have been on the stream too on the weekend. So we take a look at BOOKMAP right off the bat, and you can see we got liquidity on either side. It could go either way. It really could. We got some longs stepping in. We got a lot of shorts waiting, and they're kind of evenly placed. A little bit of the longs closer at 85.2 suggests we may go down to that blood red, but we got liquidity on either side. It could go either way here for Bitcoin. Shout out to all my lovers of life, everybody out here hanging out. There is the beautiful fiat leak. All right. And right now I'm sitting on 2 trades, but we're going to see what happens in these trades. I could get banged out, right? You could see me lose hard. I'm down 14 on one. I'm up 200 on another. This one's this is basically a 1.16, $100,000 trade, $13,000 trade. We got about 120 grand working here. You know, after margin has been ripped to the upside, right? With some lev. But there we are. You know, and don't trade leverage if you don't know what you're doing, one step at a time. This is the trade I gave to the trading group earlier this morning. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to be nice enough to show you the trade that we gave, kind of what I was looking at, what's going on, and what's going down. The area to get in, 85.6 to 85.8, even around now, is possible for a move. Again, I could be wrong. It could dump to the downside. This could be a rising wedge that takes down. There is some bearish divergence here, okay? But the moving averages are starting to tell the story in the tightness. All right, so take profit 1, 87.2. Take profit 2, 90,360. Take profit 3, 92,780. We may not get to 3. I may get out of 1 or 2. But as long as I get out, as long as it gets somewhere up here and I can move this stop loss to break even, that's all that matters. Stop loss below 83.3 has not even close to becoming hit yet. And so here we are. All right, 300 for 900, 1,000 for 3,000, 200 for 600, 100 for 300, depending on your risk tolerance and the size of your portfolio. I am not a financial advisor. Another guy saying you should be taking his financial advice. But this is how I look at it right here. All right. If you're a small boss, it's $10 for 30. If you're a big boss, it's 50 for 150. If you're a huge boss, it's 150 for 450. If you're a magnanimous man, it's, you know what I mean? And if you think it's going to short, you short it. There's a chance this goes to the downside, and I'm wrong. Right now, we're dumping. So let's break down Bitcoin and see what's happening here in Bitcoin land, man. Out of nowhere, just getting crushed. But what I did see today was the 1 hour coming back to the downside. If you watched my update today, I said, you know, it looks like you may get a better entry too. But it looks like the 1 hour is going to come down, reset, but just hold that higher low. Chance we get a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. I'll be watching that keenly. That could dump us, and there is a little bit of bearish divvy as the RSI swings down and price action swing up. But the bearish div could just be this. It's only as strong as support or resistance, and we do have some strong support there at the POC. And wow, we're all the way back at 85,000. So crazy, right? How fast price action is moving today. Tuesday too, and we were getting good volatility. So just to be clear, last night we opened trades. We already closed it this morning. So just to morning for gains. We went back inside. One of the trades from last night I kept going is still open. We go from there. And then I'm attempting to scalp one more time. And it's a long-term idea here too as well. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh. So I just got stopped out with $80 in profit. They're melting this thing right now. But it made sense. It looked like the 1 hour was going to come to the downside here based on the stochastics RSI. All right. We got this huge spike. So earlier I said, I don't know, we'll get in. If you got in, there was a huge spike to 86.6. The bot sold it on a wick to the upside. Don't get emotional here. Remember, the stop loss is at 83.3. Either you get stopped out or you don't. Take a deep breath. Everyone's like, you know what I mean? The key is to have a bigger. So here's the deal. On days where it's treachery, you don't step up and put 100 for 500 on the 1 minute and get hit off multiple times. You zoom out, you use the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and you have a bigger parameter of a trade and you let it cook. You see what I'm saying? The people that make money are the people that know when to zoom out. So look, they just crushed right into, look, see, we had this liquidity right there, this red bar at 84.5. They crushed it. They went right down into it. So BOOKMAP could tell us where there was a bunch of longs that wanted to get liquidated. So they just liquidated the longs immediately. Brah. They usually liquidate longs before they're going somewhere. It's like, why are you packing your bags? What are you grabbing all this liquidity for? You gonna go down further, Anyway, let's take a look at our bigger scenario for Bitcoin, but it did just get slammed. It was looking pretty nice. It looked like it was going to break out and possibly go on that could have been a breakout here. There was a bearish divvy though. Bearish divergence kicked in and we started to dump. See if we can hold 85K. The bulls are going to start to step in here. We don't want to lose the 15-minute 200 MA, which we're going to talk about in a second. The 15-minute 200 MA right here is holding us like a baby in a manger. Another diamond though, kind of like, a lot of crazy price action, man. Insanity. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's take a look at the weekly. Let's zoom out, take a deep breath, calm down, and take a look at what's happening on the bigger picture. So my other trade, I had that trade open for so long, $80 after all that. And it's all right. Better than losing. And I already took a nice fat gain over 400 this morning. So, hey, $500, I'll take it. We'll continue to run. And I had just started my day, right? We have all the way till tonight to trade. Anything could happen today. Today could be one of the day of my biggest trades of my entire life. I don't know what's going to happen. I got to stay open-minded. God could have the greatest, biggest plan waiting for me. Who knows what's waiting on the other side of that rainbow, man. And I believe the biggest things are happening to me today. Something huge is going to happen today for me. I just don't know. I got this weird feeling in my stomach that something just really big is going to happen in the next one day or two. You ever feel that? I can't explain it. Something huge is coming. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to hit the lottery for like 27 mil or something. I don't know why I keep saying it. Just something big is brewing, man. Maybe it's not the lottery. Maybe there's some type of deal coming. Maybe I don't know, but something's brewing. I've never felt this pull so strong in my whole life. Like, it's really strong. Like, it's like whenever I feel this way, something big is coming. So I don't know. In the next 1 to 3 days, something huge is happening. Guys, I'm psychic with this feeling now. I use it a lot. I use it with COVID. I could tell what was going to happen. I told all my family and friends. They told me I was crazy. I used it with a bunch of other things. I have this like strong instinct that'll like really pull me. Something big in the next 2-3 days, man. 3 days to tops. Like it tells me it's closer than 3 days. It's even 2 days, maybe even tomorrow tonight. Something big is happening. I can't explain why I feel this way, but I feel it. I don't always feel it this strong. This is like, and as I talk about it, it's like, It's like I have a magnet in my system and it radiates. And right now it's like doing this. So something's brewing. I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that I've had this instinct since I was young, and I've always been pretty spot on. So we'll see. We'll see. Bitcoin to $138,000 is still on the table. Swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. If you're new to the channel, this is called hidden bullish divergence. You've got a swing high on price with a swing low on the RSI. Tells you something ain't right with the trend that you're in. Usually tells you that you're in a bigger trend. And then if you even pull this, I mean, you're in an uptrend. Bitcoin's in a beautiful uptrend. If it broke the trend, it would be a bump and run. We call it. It usually leads the trend, bumps it, and then it runs. And I mean, that would be a head and shoulder pattern. It could come down here and start making some shoulders, and then we'd have some trouble. And this could happen for Bitcoin. I'm not open-minded. I'll be one of the first people to show you the right shoulder and tell you that we might have to short. I'll be one of the first people to short the market. We'll lose the 200 MA on the day, on like a 4 hour, and I'll say, guys, we got to short this now. Back to the daily, or back to the 200 MA, you know? So trust me, like, I'm going to be open-minded. I'm not a perma bear here, a perma bull. I'm not a moon boy. I'm open-minded to whatever we could see happening here in the charts. But right now, it looks decent. I like what we're seeing. A pull bit Fibonacci from that impulse wick, and we have wicked off the golden pocket. Tells me we should retrace back up here. And it's a falling wedge that breaks up 68% of the time. So if I just simplified this, the MACD turns, hidden bullish divergence, low stochastic, falling wedge breaks up. Moving average is a little far apart. A little far apart for me, suggests that we could go lower. The moving averages aren't great, not where I'd like them to be. So that's not a plus. You know, we'll go from there. And then we'll move on to the 5-day chart, which is about to close a bullish engulfing candle, which that's what we want to see. I do not want to see this go back, you know, make a huge wick or do something silly today. Tonight it closes. I'd like to see this puppy close nice and green. And to me, it's breaching, meaning it's breaking through previous resistance. Because you got to bring this down to touch, and then you can see it's pushing out. I'd like to see this gap up, close somewhere in the $87,000 region today. Really get the push we need for Bitcoin. Stop playing around. And then you can see there's a beautiful gap on this 5-day chart. It might take 1, 2, 3, 4. It says, 15, I'd say 4 to 7 candles at the most, right? Let's see. We'll hold shift down. But this can give us an idea of like how long this could take. 75 days to get back to 98,000. I mean, I guess it could. 62 months. It's June. By the time we're back at 95, they play games around here. They go sideways, they dump, they go up, Or do we come up, go side, So, hey, it could take some time. Big time frames take time. Right now, Bitcoin's at 84,870, really struggling to hold it. So make sure, again, keep the stop in place. The trade's still in position, but they're definitely dangling with this 15-minute 200 MA. We're going to get there in a second. The 3-day chart looking good, but not as good as Daddy wants. 9 hours and 32 seconds, and we're not going to close the way I desire this to close. I do not want to see tweezer tops on the 3-day chart. I do not want to see an indecision doji. I don't want to see this. It's not what I'm looking for. That's not the type of candles that that shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we're dumping. So I'm not buying any breakouts here. I'm not overly bullish just yet. I'll trade bullishly and I'll be like, this is, and I'll look at all the parameters, but man, they haven't sold me on a dang thing. Until we break back above 86,000, I'm still got a bear shadow. And as long as we're below the 200-day moving average on the daily, I'm still got a bear shadow. A bear shadow means I'm not overly bullish. We're at the precipice of what could be, but we have not followed through. And this has been every time Bitcoin shows, look at that, was a beautiful candle. Nope. Beautiful candle. Nope. Great. Dumbed up. This was a beautiful, nope. Every time they seem to let us fly, they pull us back. And I'm sick of getting excited over a Bitcoin pump. Every single time I do, they crush my little heart. My little Bitcoin heart, my little Satoshi heart. And my heart can't take it no more. I'm telling you, I just can't take it no more. They can't, so now I'm just weary. It's like a dog that just almost loves you, but then gives you a nibble. then loves you, then gives you a nibble. You're just like, I want to pet your dog, but you're going to bite me. You're going to bite me again. That's how Bitcoin makes me feel recently. So the daily looks great, but not with a wick like that. 1 to 4 wicks. That's like that. That's just not a great story. Like, go show me 4 wicks in the daily and tell me how great it played out for you from coming in from the top. It's not the best story. Tight moving averages is a great story. This bullish divergence is a great story. Let's talk about the bullish divergence on the daily time frame. You have this low to this low. That's a swing down. You want to zero in on your RSI, the relative strength index, and you want to put the same lines on the same areas. If you're having trouble matching those, because a lot of beginners do, put your vertical lines there to make sure they're exact, match them up, and then draw your lines to match the lines, and you won't be wrong. You'll be spot on. Because I've seen people sometimes doing stuff like this. I don't know why. They just can't see it. They're a little off sometimes. It's a beginner's folly. I've seen it many times when I've taught people. So swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up. This is the juice here. This is the juice. This is the sauce and the oversold. And then you even have the divergence here. You see it? The indicator, my indicator that finds these little mini crazy divergences. What is this divergence? It's interesting. It finds divergences on this. So what it's telling me is there's a hill, come down, there's a hill. And it's saying from that hill to that hill is a line. And it's taking this hill and this hill as the line. And it's saying, but from here to here is not the same. So it's saying this little line and this little line these little scoops should line up. But they don't. Divergence, see, boom. That's basically the money flow. It's all the same stuff at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? Overbought right here, come back down, boom. Oversold, bounce. And that's just all I'm looking at. That's all. See what I'm saying? And so the daily looking like it's in this flag here, just getting very, very tight. And I think it still break out as long as it stays above the 21. If it loses that 21-day moving average, it's going to dump back inside the pattern. Well, it's first going to test. For me, it's a breakout too. It's broken the pattern. Clearly. There's also a broadening falling wedge here. If you don't know what that is, you may want to look it up. It's already broken out already. Let me get rid of the moving averages so you can really see what I'm talking about here. But this is the broadening falling wedge. And let me show you what the broadening falling wedge is just so you understand. All right. Price action starts, comes up, comes down, comes up, usually is pretty wide. And then it actually gets wider. All right. Then it usually does something like this. And I'll align these correctly, in a second. And you get this type of pattern here. All right, it gets wider as it goes down. Understand? Sometimes this one can come down one more time, and then this is usually what it does. And you'll get, and you get a breakout. And so you can see it here. 1, 2. This one broke out on 1, 2. But hey, what if it fakes out, right? So, but that's what you're looking at. The broadening falling wedge. It does break out 68% of the time for Bitcoin, right? So anyway, let's go into, what are you doing to me, Bitcoin? Okay, yeah. All right. So let's go into I just always glance at the 12 and the 22. A little overbought for me. A little sketched out, a little overbought. Moving averages are where I'd like them to be, though. And what it looks to me is going to happen is possibly a shoulder ahead. And we come here and make some right shoulders. We go sideways for a couple days. We go sideways Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a weekend pump. But we may just kind of hang out here and go sideways between 84 and 85K, which would be great for the altcoins. That would let them breathe. Let the altcoins get some love. Let Bitcoin kind of hang out. Bitcoin breaks back above a key level and doesn't lose it. It gives the altcoins some room to breathe. All right? So that's what we're going for here for BTC. We're looking for a little bit of room to breathe here for Bitcoin. You see? And so maybe it comes down here. Like we have to reset a little harshly here. Okay. Okay, so that's just a possible idea, and we, you know, in the next 10 to 12 hours, it's not like we go back to 84.3. But as long as we hold this point of control, to me, that's all that really matters. That's why our stops are 83.3. So it is what it is. We're at 84.940 now, battling 85,000. We still got this huge chunk of liquidity at 84.3 now. That's kind of like the next. That's who they want to liquidate. So as we dip down, a bunch of people decided they caught the bottom and went long again. They may have been made. Now they may, you know, see, when retail goes long, they force us to go lower. You see? See, I'm sitting pretty at 83.3, waiting on the outside. They're over leveraged, and they're putting all in there. That's, oh man. And maybe it's whales too, because there's got to be big money there. But man, there's a lot of people that just thought they caught the bottom. And look, it looks like we could just come right down here. Like, it would be beautiful. Look, we'd still be super bullish, and they'd liquidate everybody, so they'd get what they want. But Bitcoin would be great. And we'd come back down here and shred everyone right there at 84.4, 84,000. So I'd be careful. Well, look at the smaller time frames. Something may change here, but let's, you know. So it's starting to play out like we may have some sideways price action going on for the next couple of days, which would be great. Like, that's what you would desire after a pump. You would desire us to mellow out, find a new range of highs and lows, and a tight one too. Again, how do you know when the range is getting tight? Let me teach you something. John Bollinger, he's a real guy. You know, my buddy, I met my buddy John Narragin, and he knows John well. We did an interview on the street the other day. The guy is a big hedge fund manager, right? And he's like, I know John. So John Bollinger, the Bollinger Bands, right? Bollinger Bands show you when price action's starting to get tight. They got a line in the middle. I'll throw up the Bollinger Bands right now here. Great way to trade, really. A lot of beginner, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say beginners, but people start to use them. The idea is you're going to get traction or some type of price action when you get tight. Now, see what I'm going to show you right now? See where the 200 is? See where the 21 is? I believe John Bollinger was using some shape, maybe not so much, but the idea is when this gets really, when these lines get really close, like this, you know there's going to be some price action. When they get really far apart, you know we're going to dump. And when you get towards the end of the range, you know it's a good time to buy. So when we dip down here and we hit the bottom of the line, that was a good buy. See, now here we're getting closer towards the top. We may get a little pump, but the Bollinger Bands may move with us too. We get up, and that may be the, you know, it show us, you know, so sideways would be nice. Move out the bull. But again, what I've noticed about my strategy in the Bollinger Bands over time, because I learned the Bollinger Bands first and then I perfected what I do with the moving averages, is that the 200 and the 21 become kind of very similar to the edges of the Bollinger Bands. So whenever I see the 200 and the 21 getting close, clamping, it reminds me, I get Bollinger Band vibes. And my brain goes, oh gosh, you know, something's going to happen soon. Like whether it's a dump or a pump, usually it's a pump if you're in an uptrend. Look at the shoulder, head, right? We got the inverted head and shoulder. Things are starting to make sense. So I hope I gave you a little insight there into the Bollinger Bands, right? So look, see, and you notice, right? If I slop them on again, see how there's my outside band curving up? The 21's curving up. See how my 200, you know, and there's the 200. The 200 is actually touching that, which is interesting. See when they were really far apart, we were kind of sludging down. But see when the 21 and the 200 got close, the Bollinger Bands gave you they got close too. So you can either use the Bollinger Bands or you can use the 21 and the 200. It's the same thing. I back engineered so many different people's indicators, and I figured out how they worked and how I use my same indicator. I overlay my indicator on theirs, and I see everything that they see times 10. I can do it with ICT stuff. I can see all his fair value gaps and places where he thinks there's raids and open candles and order blocks, and I can show you, oh, that's just a double bottom, or that's he took an inverted head and shoulder. I'll watch an ICT guy put out his chart, and they won't even, like, they'll put, like, literally, I'll watch an ICT guy, right? I do it all the time, just, you know, there's so many of them online, and so I watched this young guy the other day, and he puts out the chart, and he's like, and there's a big order block up here, and he's like, boom, I got the order block, and he can't see that it's price action made a perfect right shoulder. And he's like, and again, he nails it. He's like, I get in here, we rip to the order block. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, all he did was trade an inverted head and shoulder. And there was like a little flag there with a 21 touching, which he may have been able to maybe even a little more precise with his entry if he zoomed in. So like I'll overlay my strategy on like everybody's strategy, not to be rude. I'm not trying to be like, and I'm sure there's things I don't know. I'm not, I do sound like I know it all sometimes. But what I want to teach you is it's so amazing. Like you'll hang out with a fib trader, for instance, right? And they won't use, see, I use Fibonacci and I use patterns, but I'll hang out with a fib trader that doesn't use patterns. All right. And I'll be chilling with them and I'll be like, can't you see the right shoulder here? And he might just be able to see like he's pulling like a fib here somewhere and he's just grabbing a 786 or something, Now we both hit the trade. I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but it's so interesting when you start to see things that you're doing overlap and you're like, oh my gosh, all this stuff overlaps. It's pretty crazy. It blows my mind, to be honest. So like you'll see a fib level, a support of resistance, and then you'll see a support of resistance guy who doesn't use fibs at all. And he'll buy a perfect 618 bounce. Because it was the support and resistance flip that he saw that made so much sense to him, right? The same person will use that. Will say, I buy retest off the top of the channel, and he'll buy the retest off the top of the channel. You see what I mean? They'll all do the same exact trade. They won't even know it. Hey, another guy, price action could break out. It could bounce off the 200 MA here. I'm a 200 MA trader, right? Another guy's a falling wedge trader. Another guy is previous support as resistance trader. Another guy's an ICT guy and he sees an order block up here and he's going to get it, and to him it's a bullish order block. Another guy uses the VRVP and he says, well, that's where price action lands. I'm going to take it through the gap. All right. Another guy's a fib trader and he's drawing his fib and he's saying, well, when we get back to the 618, I'm going to execute and bounce. And if it and again, that what this might do is it might do something like, it might even just like might rip up, might make a falling wedge. To me, it's the cup and handle. You see, to him, he's waiting on the 618. Now he's also looking for a bullish divergence in here. So am I, you know what I mean? It's, anyway, like Jason Casper, he likes to draw a fib, wait for divergence at the fib level. He front runs divergence at the fib level. The chicken, I mean, then he uses the same, if you watch the money thing, it's stochastics RSI. I'm showing you, I could back engineer basically, I'm out of my mind. I've spent hours looking at every single thing on YouTube like a maniac, all alone, doing I'm psychotic with information. Like, you have never met someone more retarded than me when it comes to sitting alone all day long. I shouldn't say that word, but you know what I mean? More back-ended than me. Just like, I have a problem. Like, I'm sick. Like, I've sat and not eaten for days so I could get more information. Like, I've not peed because I've found out the fib attached to the support and resistance and couldn't believe it. Like, I've been so into my charting that I've sat here for 36 hours once and traded almost nonstop and took a couple pee breaks. Like, I love this stuff, man. This stuff is insane. There's so much to it, and you're going to be able to see it. If you stick with me, I can teach you the world, man. The one thing I'm not amazing at is Elliott wave theory, but I know I get it because I can see it in my mind too. Look, this is Elliott wave here. Let me teach you. Funny, I just said I don't know Elliott wave, but then I'm saying I'm going to teach you Elliott wave theory. I don't know it, but I've absorbed enough of it to watch these people. So you've got an A, a B, a C, right? A, B, C, D. So we should go up here. Then you got bullish and bearish Gartleys. That's a Gartley. You got the butterfly. I've just seen so much of this nonsense, man. All right. Heck, we could trade spider lines too. You want to trade spider lines and optical fibs, and I could give you optical fibs. I could draw fibs in the circle. We could talk about dude, I've done gain waves. I don't even show you the guys GAN fans, and it's just, man, I've done stuff you haven't. I've sat here and played games with stuff. I don't even tell people what I played with anymore because I'll take you on some type of tangent, and we'll go so far and so insane, right? And your mind will be blown. You'll be like, what is going on here? And I'll be like, well, look how the 1-1 of the gain ended up with the D, which is incoherent with my, and then you want to take your fibs and take your fib retracements. Anyway, I'm going to get back to brass tacks in a second. I'm going on tangents, but alt fib, but you want to be going, hold on, where are we? There's another way to draw your fib too to get extensions, which I don't even have to use. I don't do it anymore because it's unneeded, but you could use it if you like. Your trend-based fib extension. You want to go to your trend, kind of see where it came up, where the trend came down and bang. And then you're going to see like your extensions, that 218618 coincides with the D, which is the spider line to the can fan on the 1-1. Anyway, this is like, you can go as far as you want with TA, but at one point you're just going to be doing too much. You see what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you're going to be trading a flag at 85-280 and you're going to be in the money with Sammy. You know what I mean? Like we are right now after all the ups and downs today. So shout out to you if you're still in gains with the lifer. May God bless you. And, so let's get back to brass tacks here. But what I'm trying to tell you is almost everybody's strategy will overlap. I don't care what indicator they're using. I can show you. I'll be nice right now. I'm holding back right now because I could show like a famous indicator that everybody knows, and I could show you exactly how it works and how it's back engineered. But I won't do that out of respect. Like out of respect, I won't do that. But I could teach you how to back engineer an indicator that people would pay for. And I can teach you how to use free indicators around it and how the free indicators are telling you the exact same thing of that indicator. But I won't do that out of respect because I'm a good dude. See what I'm saying? Like, I could crack the bell on a lot of stuff, but I'm okay with not doing that. Right? Anyway, let's keep it moving. God bless you all, and may God bless everybody here on the live. Right? Easiest system is buy and hold Bitcoin whenever you have square money. Hey, 100%. 100%. So right now we're taking a look. 10-hour time frame looks beautiful to me too. You can see how we're crushing that 200 and the 21, getting close. Whenever they're getting close, something big is going to happen. And if you're in a bit of an uptrend, it starts to tell a story, right? And so you go with the flow of what the charts are telling you. The 4-hour still has momentum to the upside. Let's take a look at that Stoke though. Is it turning down? I can't take a look from here. No, it's still, yeah, it is. It's getting a bearish turn there. Not the best sign, but it could easily flip. And what I told you too about the week's trade that we're in, right? That trade I got in here somewhere. So it's just taking its time. It was down, but I said, as long as we don't, and again, the two stop losses were here. I didn't get hit on the wick somehow. I told you yesterday that our one, the concern was this was going to be a right shoulder take us down. We defied that last night. I woke up to gains. So you got long with me last night. We woke up to gains. We've already sold from last night's trade, just to be clear. Like, this is just adding icing to the cake. So I've already woken up to money from being in the trading group, okay? The trading group keeps me consistent, man. I can't stop because I run the trading group. And God bless each and every one of you for the ability to run this group. I thank God every day for purpose and for a reason to be alive. And when I get testimonials, when I even talk to, today I'm working on a backyard at a place, then I'm going to, reconstruct or whatever a little bit. And the guy's in our trading group, and I met him, and he's there at the location, and he's taking pictures for me, and he's like, and I wouldn't know him if I didn't have a trading group. And I said to him, I can't believe how many beautiful people God has put in my life through this trading group. Like, I work with everyone who God's put in my life through the trading group. All right? Like, if I need something and someone's like, I needed to move. There was a guy who moved in the trading group. He said, hey, I'll move you. We could use the money and blah, blah, blah. We'll put together a package. And a lifer came to my house, a guy who was in my group and touched my personal things, a guy who already knew me, knew my story. We connected. It was one of the greatest days of my life. Like, I connected with someone, and it made me realize why I started my channel, why I did what I did. And I was like, wow, mind blown. You know what I mean? So I'm watching this what looks to me like an ascending triangle. It's an ascending triangle to me. And again, it also has double top vibes. I get it. There's some bearish divvy here. It's not all love. But what you need is you need a dual pattern. Why? And this is where moving averages come into play. This pattern is called an ascending triangle. If you go by the book of this pattern, all right, it's a 50% pattern, meaning it breaks up or down 50% of the time. It breaks up, it might have a little more push out the pole. It breaks down, it's pretty much the exact length of the base of the triangle. It breaks down, this thing's going back to possibly, and what wouldn't be so bad, it could be a double bottom. Right? Boom. It would stop the trade out though at 83.3. Hasn't happened yet. We're not there yet. We don't even need to get there, but this is the bearish scenario, right? So the bearish scenario is we double top here. We can't get back above resistance at 86,000. 86 just is the, look, we flipped above it, couldn't lose it. Couldn't hold it. Resistance. So we're going to have to flip 86,000. That's going to be our story, everybody. Then we're going to have to flip 87.5, and then we're going to be able to go to 89K. And then that 9, when that 8 turns into a 9, man, it's going to change a lot of people's face. And I told you so's, and I wishes, and I FOMO's ends, and all the people that didn't buy when the fear and greed was sitting at a 10, screaming at you. You know, at the same time, it is what it is. We'll go from there, but I like, you know, right? And I always just double check, make sure I'm refreshing this. The next update will happen in 9 hours and 11 minutes. 9/11, oh my gosh. What are the odds we would do that? Eerie. 38, you know, that's so. Do we get out of our trades immediately? Is that telling us something right there? Crazy, right? 9/11 flashed on you. But 38 on the fear and greed index. I always look into that. That was not a coincidence. Still, you know, extreme fear last week was at 24. So do we get back there again? Unlikely. This usually kind of dips and dabbles, but slowly dips and dabbles, slowly dips, and next thing you know, you're here. You don't remember it. Bitcoin's at 98, 100K. Everyone's in greed again, freaking out, and you're like, dang, I bought nothing on the lows to take advantage of this because I was in fear the whole entire time. I was like a deer stuck in headlights and I couldn't move. I've been there. I've done that. I've done it a couple times, so I don't do it anymore. Like, you know what I mean? What will happen is, if you stay in the market as long as me, you'll make all the mistakes that burn. And if you keep staying in, the burn will make you do the right thing eventually. Eventually, you'll just be like, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing. I'm not going to push it. You ever been a kid that, like, you've been outside, your mom tells you to wear the extra sweater, you say, no, I'm all set. Next thing you know, you sweat it all day and you're walking home and now the sun's gone down, it's not so sweet, and you're cold as heck, and you're like, man, I really wish I brought that extra sweater. But you didn't listen. You did what you wanted to do. Eventually, you bring the extra sweater, right? Because you learned your lesson. Trading's very similar, man. Like, you can mess around over and over again, but eventually you're going to have to do what your mom and dad told you to do. You know? There's a mentor in all of us teaching us, telling us what to do. You know what to do. You know not to open up trades without a stop loss, gung-ho. You know not to go willy-nilly whenever you want. You know better than that. You know every time you go and trade without a plan, you get slammed. So you got to be that disciplined or you can't trade. There's got to be in and out. There's got to be you got to understand what you're doing or you can't do it. If you can't chart it, then you can't trade it. 100%. Okay? Meaning if you can't chart it, then you should not be in a trade. If you just look at everything, I'm in. All right, if you can't chart, so that's why I teach all my students to rechart. If you're going to take this trade here, you better rechart it on your own. You better look at how it's on the VRVP. You better be comfortable with what's happening, and it better be your trade. You might look at what I did. Now, again, the whole world could take this trade. I'm not the only guy drawing this flag. Once it's been established, this is the trade right now. Like, this is like a boss. This is what every bot, the whole world's looking at this right now. Everybody knows we're either going to go up or down in the next 10 hours. Like, that's it. That's it. We take a shot on winning or we take a shot on losing. It's up to you. A lot of people are shorting this double top right now. I'll tell you right now. They shorted that wick right there. And they think they're sweet. And there's a bunch of stop losses up here. A bunch of people like me think they're sweet. And there's a bunch of stop losses down here. The market maker can do what he wants today. He might go up and down. He might go down and up. All right? Usually it's down and up. But we'll see what happens. All right? He already kind of went up and down there in the small section. He did it here too. And he did it there. I mean, he's been ripping y'all. He's been ripping the small time frames up. He loved this. Look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Ripped the shorts that shorted that. Then the head and shoulder here took the dump. Because why? Resistance. You got to know your support of resistance. Resistance right here. You ripped it. You got above. You retested. Boom. Previous resistance became, let me open this up, no moving averages, but look, this is previous resistance here became support. That's such a beautiful move. And this is what I teach at the beginning, in my trading. And people say, "Oh, I'm advanced for this. I don't need this." That's hogwash. I've been doing this 17 years. This is helping me right now watching this. This is reestablishing what I know and telling me, yeah, you're right. I got to keep my mind straight. Because what will happen is you use all the bells and whistles and miss this. All someone had to do is wait for that wick to close and boom. Those two wicks, you get tweezer bottoms and then you're locked in. Bang. I mean, we basically traded that already, but in a different way, Inverted head and shoulder. Take the right shoulder. You gons. Guan, baby, guan. So look, that was a previous resistance became support. Clear as day right there. SR Flip. My daughter loves that. The one, we have a 9-month-old sweetie pie. So, bang, this is what I see for Bitcoin, that we're going to get tighted here. And it may take, this is the 1 hour time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May take 5-6 hours. Looks like today we may be going sideways, which could potentially lead to some altcoin gains. And so we're going to later on in the show, we're going to see what altcoins could benefit from sideways price action for Bitcoin. We're going to teach you how to find the environment to trade. You don't just trade. You go over Bitcoin. You look at the market cap. You see what happened with Bitcoin dominance. You take in the elements of the environment, and then you make a good assessment on the probabilities of where the market's going. Boom. You lock in. So you got low stochastics on the daily. The 3 days still pushing up. You got momentum. You know what I'm saying? You're curving. So you would have to start believing in a reversal. Then you would zero into the smaller time frames and try to find, are we above a support or resistance? Do we have a cup and handle on the 1 hour? Did we make a Fibonacci retracement on the 4 hour time frame? Then you zero in. Then if you want to be extra crazy, you're like, well, the 4 hours bullish in the 1 hour. Now I can scalp the 1 minute throughout the next few hours because all the other time frames are showing me momentum. Now you have two choices when you see that. The daily looks good. The 4 hour looks good. Okay, I'm going to open up my trade on the 4 hour and walk away. I want to be with my family for the next day. It's Sunday. I don't want to stare at the charts all day. I don't want to get liquidated on low volume. And you leave your 4 hour chart alone and you let it sit for 2 to 3, 4, 5 days. And you take your money if it goes or you bail. Otherwise, you scalp. I scalp Tuesday, Wednesday because there's a lot of good volume here, right? Usually there's a lot of people in the markets today and there's a lot of people getting in and out. I have access to liquidity. That liquidity gives me the ability to move. Trading's just like surfing. Let's just say surfing the waves. If there's a lot of ways I can surf them. Maybe it's more like wakeboarding. You're on the back of a board, you're wakeboarding. Say there's not a lot to it's a very calm. You can cut through the water a lot. But if it's rough, you can bounce off the wave. There's more. My thing is trading, when there's volume, it gives you more to work with. When you have skills, you can get the skills working when there's more volume. I could trade the 1 minute, I could trade the 5, I could trade the 1 hour, but I can't trade the 1 minute Saturday night usually. It's just pointless. I've done it here and there. It can happen, but it might play out like it takes as long as the 15 minute usually. It's not as quick as it should be. It's not the same as trading the 1 minute on Monday night, on Friday, on Tuesday in the morning, right? So you got to understand when, and that's the thing about a trading group that'll help you. People think trading group this and that. What are you talking about? A trading group's like a forest god. You're going to live in a forest. If you're going to trade, look at trading like living in a forest. And the trading world is a forest. You're going to live in a forest. I'm a guy that's been living in the forest for 17 years. I know which animals not to touch. I know what trees not to eat. I know what places to go. I know where the good water is. I know when to go to sleep. I know when to be safe. And I've lived throughout. I haven't died. Somehow I haven't died. So many things could kill me in this forest. I'm still alive. How? I actually look better than I did when I came in. Most people go into trading and come out way worse. I came in way better. How is that possible? I put my mind to it. So wouldn't you want to be with the best guide in the forest? I would be if I was going into the forest. So why wouldn't you join the trading group, cryptolifer.com? I mean, if that's not perfect, then what is? So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. All right. The trading group helped me so much. Amen. So we're watching this $85,200 level. This is the trade with a stop below like 84 even we went 83.3 for a higher area. Here's a smaller version of the same idea. Okay, that's a 3.5 risk reward ratio to get out at 89,000. And they've still got this whole big blob of liquidity here. Sad to say, it looks like they're going to bring us down to BOOKMAP's not 100%, but it's usually pretty accurate. Liquidity on both sides, but when we really zoom in, you can see their big glob is sitting at 84.3. It looks like they're going to dump us. So they made this is possible cat ears here. And they may just take this puppy right down to 83, 82, 80, this boom. Don't be surprised. How will we know what's going to happen? How would we know? How could we not be blindsided? The first thing that will happen is the 15-minute will lose this yellow line, the 200 MA. Look at that. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Look at that. That's crazy, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. And there you are. And you broke down. I mean, it does. The technical analysis does what it tells you it's going to do. So here's the deal. We'll end up breaking down. This should break up, right? We should do something like this. If in like 2 to 3 hours you're doing something like this, if you cross the 200 MA, you're gonna be looking for a bear flag back down, and we would have to maybe trade a bear flag below the 50, the 15 200 MA. So price action's a little sketchy right now on the 15. However, we got the bounce off the 200. Let me take away everything. Let me tell you. So look, there's the 200. Very crucial that we didn't break below it. We did bounce off of it, but it's not. That's, you know, we're not in like. So we're kind of hanging. We bounce, we go sideways. This thing could even turn into a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and we could be on out of here, right? I got the longs open in case, so I'm covered. And then otherwise, we come down here, we bearish retest. You know, we lose the 200 MA on the 15 and the point of control. When you lose a POC and the 200, that's not a coincidence. You're likely going to drop. Shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder there. Look at that. So I'm wary for this area here, and we really want to see a bounce. I'd say by, you know, between 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, we got to be, you'd like to see us above 85.7, 85.8, somewhere coming into this area here. If you're down here, we're in trouble. We're likely going lower. And I'm telling you, there's still double. It's not awesome. It's a 50-50 pattern for a reason, and you can see there's people lined up there's people on both sides of this trade. And there's enough people on both sides that the market maker, liquidity, whoever wants to get that money is sitting there and being like, man, I could go either way here. And they're like, just wait it out and see. See, I used to think they knew what they were going to do. Now I realize they do what they're going to do based on what we do. So like if enough of us go long, they'll come get us. If enough of us go short, they'll come get us. Whoever weighs the scale higher is where the market will flow. And it's just about who picks it right or wrong, you know. And I use the moving averages. They keep me pretty accurate. So as long as the 15-minute stays above the 2, we're all right. The second that starts to move it, that's going to teach you we're going lower. Okay? Now, yes, they could bring it just a few candles and bring it back inside. I've seen it. But I'd rather get out, bring it back in, and then get back inside again with the stop, and then take it out again. I find, as crazy as that sounds, I found that has covered me than taking shorts all the way down that I don't need to. If I'm long already, you know, and getting stopped out down here. Or I just have a bigger parameter. I keep a stop here and I just let it hang till I get out, you know. Which happens sometimes too. So look, if you're less greedy, there's more odds you win the trade. So for instance, someone's like, I got to make 1,000 to 5,000 and I got to put my stop loss here. Boom. They lose $1,000. This other guy says, you know what? I'll go 300 for 900. Trade gets really close, hangs out. Boom. He makes $900. The guy, and then again, they both do 3 trades, 4 or 5 trades. One guy turns $5,000 into $2,000 because he keeps putting his stop loss tight and he wants more money. The other guy keeps risking 300 for 9, but he ends up winning 4 of them. At the end of the month, one guy turned his 900, you know, maybe say his $900, right? Or, you know, he only had $300. He turned $300 into 9 4 times. One guy turned $300 into $3,600. The other guy turned $5,000 into $2,000. Why? One dude was too greedy with a stop loss too close to price action. The other guy wasn't as greedy with a bigger price action area and was willing to just make less money each time. I'm telling you right now, I was this guy for years, a couple years, and I would lose money. You know, I became this guy, and people laugh at me now. I got tons of money. Why do you take these trades 300, 900? Because I know I could continue to make money. Wouldn't you like a bank account that continues to grow? Or do you want something that grows sometimes or makes big jumps and makes big pumps, but dumps and bumps? And these big traders, man, and some people post huge gains, but like their losses are out there too, man. Anyone who's posted a big gain a lot of times is going to take a hit here and there. I don't like taking a hit. I made it to the promised land. I just need to add to I just need to add to what God gave me now. I don't need to be too risky. I'll take a big risk at the right time. Like if I see you're a VC, or you're a young guy, you start a company, your company looks right to me, all the numbers look good, and I'll take a shot and I'll invest. Yeah, that's when I'll take a shot. You know, when it looks right to me, when the numbers fit. I don't need to be taking a shot right now right now. Should I go put a bunch of money into SWE on a swing trade and try to make a bunch of gains? No, that's ridiculous. But if the market rips up, Bitcoin gets back to 96, even 100K, SWE starts to rip, we're at 312, I see a big pocket, we get above a level of support or resistance, and I trade 312, let's say to 380, and put a fat gainer on it, and bang on it. So like, there's a time and place to use more capital. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. For me, there's a time and place to use more capital. And there's a time and place to be reserved and sit on my hands. And I'm starting to learn that the more and more as I trade. You know, the longer I trade, the more I can see the bigger playing field. It's like a quarterback. He throws to the left side, the right side, you know, and after 10 years, he might say, I've always had better throwing to the left underneath. No matter what the coach was, no matter what the play was, I've had good, you know, results in that area. So they go for that area. You understand? But it took them years of trading and years of throwing the football over and over again. So that's why, like a new trader, no matter how great you are, how many skills you've had, your subconscious mind just has not reprinted enough as mine. Or, you know, and there's a guy that's 70 years old. His subconscious mind is outprinting me, right? He's been in these markets way longer than me. You know. Now, again, he may lose his edge. He may lose his discipline. There's more factors involved. We're looking for this to kind of this is that falling wedge. They break up, they break it inside, but then they keep you in a wedge again. This is my old, this is weird pattern thing that I found. Now, they might make a right shoulder here and dump this puppy too. That's why I have what's called a stop loss, because you never know what they're going to do. So this is what I see happening for Bitcoin. We got to get the bounce. It's pretty crucial. So I do see two things that could happen in the next hour. We must stay above the 200 MA, otherwise we could take a dump back down to 83. Although we're bouncing going sideways, and then there's thoughts of grandeur to 87.5 and more. We got to break 86,000. I would love a daily candle close above 86,000. Hey, that would be the key. Now let's put the lemon into the water. I was getting parched there. Shout out to my lovers of life and each and every one of you for being here, sharing your best life with me. Thank you. And I hope you're just feeling right, positioned right. Things are going your way. You know, if you believe things are going to go your way, then they are. Things are going my way today, and they're going to continue to. Internet is running. God bless you all. Everybody's here. God bless you all. The music sounds good. The microphone sounds good. The tech is working right. The stream is looking right. Everything is looking correct, man. Blessings on blessings. So I like what I'm seeing here. Now we're bouncing off the 200 MA here too. Beautiful move. You see that? We just got to keep that going. Now we've been sideways for most of the stream, and I've stayed off the smaller time frames. We do have a Sammy. I mean, there it is, master friend. And do we have it on the NASDAQ? Are you guys NASDAQing right now? Nasty Nas right there. And bang, can you get through that gap and get up to 85,688? That's the key that I'm looking for. There's the Sammy Cup and Handy, though, that we look for every day on the 1 minute reversal after the liquidation. They do this every single day. This looks like a Monday. Pump, dump, pump, dump. Now they usually reverse off the cup and handle. I'm open-minded to believe it could always be a bear flag, though, that could dump you further down. And just how the 1 minute will confirm. So you don't have to be right. This is not about me being right on the 1 minute. Remember, we could be looking at the 1 hour to see what's going to happen and just using the 1 minute for confirmation. So you can have the 1 hour up on one screen. You can have the 1 minute up on this screen. And you could just draw this. You don't have to trade it. You just draw these two things out. You know, you get your snap. You come back in the room. You're checking. Now this starts to dump. Then you know that the 1 hour is likely going to probably, things aren't going well. They start to break out. You know the reversal is in play. And the 1 minute can teach you. So you don't even have to. I trade it now, but for years I did, and I just used it as a reader. It's zeroing in, it's honing in, right, and letting you see what could be possible. Now I'm not saying this is definitely cup and handling out. I'm saying, hey, maybe this is a bear flag. Price action's been sketchy the last couple days. The BOOKMAP says we're going to go down into this big ball of liquidity here at 84,320. Unfortunately, so. But, it's not 100%. Let's see what happens. I am called Sammy Cup and Handy, so that alone tells you, why am I called Sammy Cup and Handy, Samuel Cup and Handle? Because I saw this reversal on the 1 minute so many times that people called me. So my nickname alone tells you that we should break out. Why? Does that make any sense? Yeah, because people watched this break out and they gave me a nickname. So even if I didn't know anything, which I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, just the fact that they call me Samuel Cup and Handle would tell you, well, because so many people saw this break out on the 1 minute while I was live. You get it? If I pass away, by God, keep me alive, my kids and family. But, if you were to extrapolate me from the situation, just, data set wise, and people would be like, here lies Sammy Cup and Handy, that alone just told you that this cup and handle is supposed to break out. Like, this is supposed to break out based off my nickname. You see what I mean? It sounds weird, right? I'm not trying to be, but it's like if a guy was called like the Sultan of SWAT, right? Why? Because he hits so much. Like, his nickname let you know that he's likely going to hit a home run because the guy hits home runs. He got a nickname for it, right? It's kind of like that in a way. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just, so you would think, hey, this should break out. But, again, I go with the moving averages. You lost the 200 on the 1 minute. That's bearish. Okay? You lost the 200 on the 5 minute. That's bearish too as well. And now you're kind of struggling here. Remember what I said. It's all about this 15. And I talked about this yesterday to the trading group. I told them every day there's a time frame that gives you the most pack for your punch for your, pack for your punch. But this is it. I mean, if we lose the 15-minute 2, you can see that move down to 84.2 looks very likely. And BOOKMAP has the liquidity waiting too. They're like, yeah, we're right there, 84.3, 84.230. We're ready to gobble you up. So they're there waiting. So you do whatever makes you happy, but they want to take you down. They want to eat that liquidity to the upside, from the longs. So I just I sometimes mess with my BOOKMAP. So only time will tell. The cup and handle says we're supposed to break out, save the day here. This is it. This is crucial times. There's a little bit of anxiety in the charts right now for anyone watching. I mean, either we're going to break out here or this is going to bear flag down. And there's people that are short that wanted to dump and make gains. There's people that are long that wanted to pump and make gains. And there's everyone watching on the sidelines. All right? And we're the players. The players are the people that are in, man. You're in like me. You're a player. You don't play games. You actually you're in there. You're on the front lines. We're here every single day. I don't take days off. And some of the biggest dumps I show up, and the biggest pumps I show up. We're here every single day. Me and the squad. Shout out to the lifers. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to Rave Song Records. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to David Kendall. Shout out to everybody here. The Lifer Mafia over here. Hey. 84.200 is the 15-minute SMMA. Thank you for saying that. A little bit of a poke out. Can we get the move here? Very similar to the weekly. The weekly is here right now. You see, the weekly just did that. See, the weekly just did this. The weekly's in the falling wedge, and it just broke out. Like, this looks exactly like the weekly, basically. Can the weekly replicate a move, right? Some head and shoulders in there too. You see how this is like shoulder, head, shoulder. It's just weird. I see candles. I wish I didn't see as much as I see sometimes. But over that gets better too. Yeah, it's crazy. We pay taxes, then we pay quarterly. Yeah, exactly. It's like boom, boom. We finish paying, then we finish paying again. Yeah. But it's all right. I mean, it is what it is. That's the one thing about paying quarterly taxes. Like, you pay your taxes, then you pay your taxes, then you pay the fourth quarter, and you pay the next quarter. But it's all good, man. We're blessed, right? We're blessed. Basically, we're going to end at the same place. We dump to 82.5, then bounce or hit 87 pullback. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm open-minded here, one step at a time. And look, again, we've been sideways for the entire show right now, from 10:50 or for at least the last 20 minutes. Complete sideways price action for Bitcoin. Possible high risk scalp is an entry here, a stop at the bottom of the cup and handle, and you look and there's a gap in the VRVP says you could get that pump to 85.8. So this would be this is technically a trade right here. You can even use those 2 wicks if you want to live dangerously. There's your 2.93 risk reward ratio. All right. It looks comfortable. There is a breakout. Technically, you're kind of buying a little bit of a breakout there. That was a monster candle. Finally, a bullish engulfer. Some good volume on that candle. Can we get the follow through, though, is the question. Some news here. Forget XRP at 3. Analyst breaks how high price will be in a few months. Oh, my God. I love this. Yeah. What's happening in crypto daily, crypto news. And here's what Now we're all set. Let's see if this trade can rip to 85.7. Get back to brass tacks here. The Sammy Cup and Handy. This is what, this is the sauce here. Let's take a look at that NASDAQ. That nasty Nas, if you're trading it. And so look, we saw it in this flag yesterday. I said, be careful, the M pattern kit. I said, this is what you're going to do. I said, if the M starts to break this channel, then you go to short. I said, if it gets tight in there, then we long it. So I would long the NASDAQ right now. I would long the NASDAQ right now. If you're a nasty Nas trader in the Leverage Mastery, every single one of you, send this to Leverage Mastery. Let them know. It's behoove you to long the nasty Nas. All right, that looks like it's going to pump beautifully to the upside. It's above. That's my signal too. On the 1 hour time frame, you even have a kind of a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder. That looks beautiful to me. You do what you want with this information. It's just my subconscious mind. I've watched the charts for years. It's not me telling you it. See, everyone thinks it's them. Everyone gets this ego about trading. When I put out a trade, it's me versus them. But it's never me versus them. It's my brain. It's my subconscious mind that has just gone through the charts. Like, I don't say something because I want to say it. I only say it because the probabilities push me to say it. I don't want to be dumb. Understand? Let me break this down. Man starts YouTube channel. Okay? This is the YouTube channel. This is me talking on the YouTube channel. Man does a YouTube channel about charts and probabilities. Man decides, if he really studies the probabilities and does them really well, that he'll only talk about the probabilities that he knows are likely going to play out. Because he wants to look smart and he wants his channel to do well and become successful, right? So because this guy has studied for 17 years, yeah, his channel does well for the last 5 years based off of years of subconscious data that is now stored in his brain. Understand how this all works? It's based off probability, man. So if you can remove my ego from him, which I know is hard, but if you can forget about who I am and the suit and tie and all that, and just realize I'm a brain that scraped the market of information and I'm giving it back to you, and that's all you're coming here for. That's all you're coming here for. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? And when the moving averages play out like this, the 80 and the 100 cross the 200 MA it's a pretty good sign. The 2 hour chart looks like it's about to blast to the upside too as well. That looks like the nasty NASDAQ is about to blast. I could be wrong, but something's brewing here for the NASDAQ. All right? Something is brewing here for the NASDAQ. And again, I know you want to sit there, guys, and scalp the 1 second and the 30 second, and you want to do your pips and your this and that's and your in and outs, but hey, try a 2 hour trade, walk away, go get some lunch and come back to 10 grand. It's pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? Swing trading, intraday swing trading, for me, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, that's where the money is. That's where the big money is. Intraday swinging, getting it in, right? Anyway. So my computer has frozen, but that's okay. I'm still working. I hope. Yeah. I hope. The cup and handle slowly trying to get out, but still kind of inside of the tight channel. Nasty Nas looks amazing. I'm having trouble posting this to the trading group. So if anyone could post this to the Leverage Mastery, I would greatly appreciate that. If you could put that link in Leverage Mastery, I would greatly appreciate that. No, I am going to start prop trading the NASDAQ in the next 2 months. Yes, I am. I'm making that clear to everybody. I'm linking up with the prop firm. And because I've been putting my strategies and I've been hitting on I can hit on the NAS just like I hit on Bitcoin. I can trade the NAS. I can do every single thing. They go in tandem basically a lot of times. Same trade I'm giving on the nasty NAS, people aren't realizing is the same trade. Not all the time. They uncorrelated a couple times the last couple weeks here and there. But for the most part, if that flag breaks out for Bitcoin, I expect this flag to break out for the nasty NAS. All right. How much you risk getting that 10K in 2 hours? I'm new. Hey, it depends. All right. I do the same 5 days a week. That'll take you some time. Don't start wanting to get 10K in 5. Been trading on CB and the fees. Are you any suggestions on a safe exchange? Yes, Bitunix and Weeks are two great exchanges if you'd like to jump on in. We have links to Weeks right here. We have links to Bitunix and Mexi, the least amount of fees in the game. Weeks and Bitunix work in the United States great. No VPN needed, just nice and simple. All right. The Melta, I agree with swinging the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ looks like a big swing too. Like it says it's going to 21,600 by the end of April or something. I don't know. It looks like, remember I said something huge is coming? I feel something huge coming. And again, you don't trade on feelings, but the full moon just came out. I sat underneath it both nights in a row. There was this weird gleam coming out of it, like from both sides. I never seen that. And I was like, it looked like a light. It looked fake to me. It was the strangest thing ever. Anyway, and I'll leave that to myself. All right. Hey, Lifer, thank you so much for the stream, brother. Very much enjoying listening to your EXP. What do you think about China 50? I don't think about it. Thank you, though. God bless you, brother. Yeah. Where can I trade the NASDAQ? You could trade the NASDAQ on BingX. I do have a link to BingX in the description if you'd like to jump on in. You could trade the NASDAQ on BingX. All right. I made profit on leverage mixing now in spot on the own wall. I like to hear that. I ain't going to let it get me down. I'm going to buy more. Shout out to Jay Boone. I love you, man. Stay positive. The moon halo was awesome. It wasn't even a moon halo, though. It was like this. I'd never seen it. I looked at the moon. It was like this. And then it had two coming out, two coming out, two coming out, and two coming out. And it was like that. You know, the lights were shining it had two rays, 4 sets of 2 rays. Like it was I don't remember ever seeing that like that. I found it a bit odd. I wasn't for it. Anyone else see that? Or was it just me? Was it maybe the lanai cage? I don't know. I left the lanai cage. I had to look out at it. Mars is about to enter Leo. Bitcoin's rising sign. Last time was November. We pumped like crazy. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Never miss a stream. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. Yeah, anyone that says cringe gets completely deleted out of here. Please be gone. I don't like being treated bad on my own stream. It puts me off. So I hope I grab the right person. And oh no. It's this guy here. Yeah, get him out. I just don't like grab people that call me. You know, if I'm cringe, bounce, please. Yeah, don't come here. Don't watch the stream if I'm cringe. Just bounce, please. I've helped too many people. I have too many positive, beautiful people here in the stream with love, light, and happiness. I just don't want anyone negative near me, please. I just don't like it. I remove negative people out of my life so fast. If you're not grateful and full of love and happy with this moment that we're in, I don't want to be around you. I'm so sorry. Work on yourself, get better, discipline yourself. If you can't handle the truth, then please bounce. Yeah. Looking extra handsome today, brother. Shout out to, thank you. Wow. Shout out to Pablo Escobar. Sad people are sad people. Amen. Sad people try to make people sad. Liver, do you? No, I don't. Thank you, please. He said, everyone keeps asking me about China 50. Yeah. All right, so moving forward for BTC, what's happening? You know, so far so good on the cup and handy, right? And I'm sticking to my longs, even though it was sketchy there. And if we can get this bounce, this is going to tell a story. And we'd enter the known zone. The known zone is the known zone. Well, where you're known to pump because you're in this little area. I call this the known zone. I just made that up right now. Remember that? Remember the things we used to say? Never clone alone. Remember never clone alone? Who here remembers never clone alone? Anyone that old? It's something because you can right click. If you're out here, you can right click and you can clone, right? But I'd always tell everybody never clone alone. You know what I mean? And I'd get really creeped about it. It was so stupid, man. Shout out to Patrick Power in the house. God bless you, Patrick. Hope everything's going your way, man. God bless you. Thank you so much for being with us and hanging out. All right. Sammy filled his silver cup with cocoa water to cheer him up. Along came Hanny with grin so wide. They shared a laugh and sipped side by side. Shout out to Oliver Colson. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Yes, you can trade NAS at the Bing X. Yes, you can. You just need to put a VPN on it. I've been told you can. I used to see it. So. And there's that cup and handle, baby. This is why they call me Sam. And again, I said this should pump because they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. So this should pump based off my nickname, right? Strange. It's strange stuff. You know, again, I guess if you don't have confidence in yourself, I may upset you. I know that. It's true. It's true. It happens all the time. It's happened my whole life. Yeah. Sharp-eyed Luda lovers may notice April's full moon looks smaller than the usual this month, and despite its big moon namesake, the orb will have a white golden hue. I didn't see a white golden hue. I saw it looking like a spotlight. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I showed you, like the two lines on either, like forward, like, I don't know. I never seen it. It looked like it literally looked fake to me. But again, I don't know. Like, it's got to be real, right? Everything I've been told is true. Of course, right? We know that's not true, so then we never know, though, right? But everything I've been told is true for sure, 100%. Bitcoin Exchange also had tokenized assets on there, such as gold and tech. Oh, the BTCC. Okay, so BTC. Yeah. I don't know about that though, so be careful. I don't know anything about that. I don't want to. You know, he could be pushing. So I don't want to be rude to you though, but I don't know. All right. So now look. I mean, now you've got this beautiful look going on here because you got a flag with the 21 curving up, and that's likely could be a nice little payday and continue. The gap of the VRVP, you're in the known zone, man. It's time to go. So far so good here for Bitcoin. Ain't too shabby. We gave a call to the NASDAQ. I can't wait to come back to this in 3-4 days and see what happens. But I expect what I expect. You'll do what I say, and you will pump. I always try to use the bars pattern and it never seems... Oh, no, ghost feed, right? Yeah. I love this thing. It's so funny, right? You can, like, fake... I gotta like learn how to do it better, or like how it's supposed to work, but I feel like it's gonna consolidate more here first, something like that. I'm just not doing it correct. Price action don't go backwards, Sammy. It goes forward and to the right. But yeah, I mean, I could see this thing doing some damage. It may take some time, you know. But the nasty Nas, man, and I'm giving a call for the NASDAQ. I haven't done that in a while, so we'll see what happens. All right, moving forward into altcoins to see if there's anything worth looking at. Farcoin was the strongest coin in the game. Matumbo had some moves, actually. People seem to make some gains on that. Ray Soul, I'm still not deep diving that stuff. Ergo was hot, holding 26% gains today, but did pull back from that 36 high, double top. You know, in the last week, though, we've seen some gains. 128% for Onyx coin, and we got in on the lows there too, so there's a chance you may have made some gains. Farcoin at 59%, Jasmine at 41%, Hyperliquid 37%, 36% for Radium. I mean, that ain't a bad week, right? You know, even Render up 28%, Bonk up 27%. So some premier coins, you know, 18 on Pepe, 18 on, you know, so hey, there was a bit of a bounce. 86 on Ondo is great. Ondo's one of my bigger positions. Like to see it holding strong above where I bought it at. That's great. Injective, Chainlink, everything above about an 8 to 9% across the board, and then some up to 30 into 40. So we've had some movement in the last 24 hours. Mantra DAO did bounce back up 18%. I wouldn't catch a falling knife. You know, I'd leave it alone. It kind of was like, I'm not into that stuff. But some people are using it to trade because there's volatility. They want to get in and out, or they think it's funny, or it challenges them to play it. 9% on IP. I do like IP. That's something I may look at to trade. Radium is fun when Solana gets hot again. And Solana back to 130 holding gains. So, and there we go from there. So XRP, looked interesting. And I got some setups. There's only a few things that I'd be looking to play though. Caspa actually looks more bullish than most coins. Pancake Swap looks a little more bullish. And Pendle. Those are three coins I'd be looking at that possibly may give us some gains too as well. So, and we'll take a look at, I just want to take a look at Caspa for my own, if you would give me a moment. If I could look at a coin that I am curious about for a second here. So I talked about Casper breaking out of this flag. It did that, thank the goodness. Then it made a little flag, and it kind of slumped around now. It hit resistance there at 7.9. So let's see if we can see this in a different light, or it's exactly what it is. Or so Casper collapsed at the head and shoulder exactly like it was supposed to. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. TA did exactly what it said again. Predicted a drop all the way down to right where it was likely going to go. Now, I mean, how much sell-off can you get? Only so many people are going to sell it off. I didn't touch my Casper, so I had it just locked away where I can't get to it. So it's kind of just like, I do that on purpose so I can't fluctuate long-term positions. Just let them sit. Again, maybe the next time it gets to 1820, though, it's like, maybe it gets to 25. I kept telling I didn't see Casper doing big things. Everyone said they were going to see these big numbers for Casper, and I just told them it didn't make any sense to me. Even though I've been in Casper since below a penny and around a penny, but it just, the Casper people were really, they were drinking Kool-Aid, man. I'm sorry. They were talking about it going to $2 and all this crazy proof of work. Like, I've seen this before, man. It's a cult-like community of people, and they love it, and it's great. But you got to get realistic. You know, you gotta hone it in. You can't drink your own Kool-Aid every time. You know, some hidden bullish in a way, and we would expect some type of retreat, a bounce here, but it's it's got to take a Bitcoin recovery for anything to recover, and we all know that, and that is what it is. This is what we're waiting on this wedge to break out. First things Casper got to do is get above 10 cents. Once it does that, it can begin to breathe. 13, then 18, and then right. Let's take a look at the super chats. PVS, someone keeps asking about that. Paraverse, right? See, I remember. Wow, it did a massive pump, didn't it? It did, like. So the last time we looked at it, I drew this flag, said wait for it to get possibly tight, and then pump. I said the target looks like it could get to 0.9. Looks like I was somewhat correct there, but it made a tighter flag. You got to go to the smaller time frames to really hone in. Like, go to the 15-minute. Yeah, it made a beautiful flag on the 15. You see this? I'm going to delete my old work, but you can clearly see that I had a flagpole here. I was calling for a pump. If it made the flag and consolidated, I said it looks like it could continue, and it really did. It rode the 21, and I teach my students to get in when the 21 is touching price. To ride the flag, right? Then it made another flag. It rode that one. Now it's kind of attempting to, it made a bearish div and it's pulling back. Now you want to look at the bigger time frames. So we want to take a look at it on the daily. The daily beautifully broke out for days now, though. For days it's been pumping. And it's somewhat away from the 21. The daily doesn't give us a lot. We got to shrink down time frames to get there. It looks like the 4 hour is going to be our big boy. Yeah. Now, if this is bullish, we're going to look one or two things. We're going to go sideways up, or we're going to come down in like that kind of bull flag type of way. Either way, we're going to meet the 21-day moving average before price action desires to move. This is the sauce of sauces. This happens on Forex, on Bitcoin, on Tesla. You name it. Now, there's times where we just get near the 21, but it's very rare. What I also do, too, to not watch price action too much is slap an alert right there on the stochastics RSI. When that alert goes off, it tells me that we're resetting the Stokes or closer to it, and we may be getting ready for another move on consolidation. It is setting up for what looks to me is a beautiful cup and handle. I mean, that's a cup. We're just waiting on a handle. The handle could be sideways or downward. And it tells me that there's either going to be an entry somewhere, here, if price action takes the downward, or somewhere right around there. And either way, we can get a nice move here to the upside. That target take you back to the 0, 1, 6, and 6/10 of a cent area. And from 9, that's basically 9 to 16. So 7 on 9s, right? 7 into 9. 7 into 9 goes once with 2 left over. 7 into 20 goes twice with 6 left over. So you're looking at like 12, right? No, 11, right? Yeah. Anyway, so the point is, get some gains there. All right? Get some gains there. Yeah, 7 into 9 is 1. 2 left over. 7 into 20 out. Why does it say no? 9 into 7. No, hold on. Mike, wait. Yeah, 80, 77%. 77. Well, you figure 8 is half of 16, right? And you're getting 7 on 9. I mean, that ain't bad. So, Am sounds like you're jeeping it. According to ETH on the 4-hour rising wedge, I was going to join this week and my Jeep dropped oil pressure to 0. Interesting. We biddy bopping, somebody says. I like to hear that. But we just kind of, Oh, you got me excited. We're not biddy bopping, we're biddy dropping. We're biddy dumping. So look, you got it, you see? And again, if that 15-minute loses the 200, it's going to be a bear day. We're not going to win the longs, so we're going to have to bail out. What I always do is I have a few charts open so I can keep one like completely clear in my mind. Like this is a head and shoulder pattern. I've seen it just the other day. I saw this play out. They like hide it inside there. Again, I wish I was 100%. I am not. We made good gains this morning already. All right. Yeah, I looked up the other day. I was going to buy a new car. And I looked up what car to buy. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like what car, and it told me what cars get used the most or have to get fixed the most. And it was the Jeep. They said the Jeep gets fixed the most of any car. Right? So let's just kind of talk about how I trade. I'm just going to break down like how I trade leverage really quick. Right? Because people seem to be asking a bunch of questions. And I don't want you to force yourself to do this. I'm just going to teach you what I do and how I do it. All right. And I'm going to go through a few scenarios. This is going to really help you. I could teach this like a real trade right now, but this is, I think a lot of people keep asking the questions. Like, so I look at the trade number one. The first thing I do is just like I trade spot. I look at the trade. And if I'm comfortable with the trade, I take the trade. So I assess the market. That their technical analysis has to be there. And then I always use this long position that I got right from 1, 2, 3, 4 down there on Bitunix. Why am I using this? Well, it's just going to tell me what my risk is. Like right there, I'm going to risk 100 for $284. That's a good risk. Any from 2.7 and up, I'll take. I like 3-to-1s. I'll take a 2.7. If I have to take a 2.7 to get below these wicks, I'll take it. This one might have to be. Sometimes if you have to be a 2.1, 2.6, it's not. Then you can't take the trade. Some trades will tell me they're too risky based off the space I have on the stop loss between the entry and, sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's smaller. I can't, and it's geometric as well as mathematical. Let's just say this was up a little bit. I'm willing to go for the candles and I slap in like a 3-to-1. But this one is a little sketchy. It's a little borderline. And we are looking short now. Looking like we may dump. Remember, that is a double top cat ear. I told you, we got people on either side of this trade. It's going to go either way depending on how many people take the trade. You understand? Nobody knows which way this is going to go. It's based on liquidity. Not even I know. I know how to trade it. And we lose the 15-minute 200 MA. I do know that there's a high likelihood that now the probability of us dropping now is exponential. What is all this crap here for? What is going on over here? We played with the chart since then. I just probably haven't moved it so it stays. I just changed it. I can't say how it does that. Oh, wow, it kept those. I must have been using a different chart the whole time, right? Again, so this trade's still valid. Nothing wrong with it. Just want to get out of the smaller time frame there. We're so tight inside this channel. You see? Wow, even though that's the 4 hour, even the 4 hour looks like it's going to roll over on us now. Right? It could flip. You don't want to go by the stochastics as much as you want to go by. Look, previous resistance 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you're on there's a bounce area there. You can see how we're very close to the precipice of what could happen here. And now we're jamming ourselves to possibly, yeah. So there's the cup and handle, and then there's the bear flag. So the cup and handle started to move. I told you not to trade the small time frames today. Again, you're going to do what you want. No matter what I say, people are going to continue to do what they want. Regardless of what I say, I will show them how to make beautiful trades all week. I'll show all my trades up and down. I'll lose a couple, win most. And they'll leverage trade some other asset all night long to the kind of, hey, some people do it better than me, make more, but I bet most people are getting rocked, man, by not listening. But I can't force people to listen. I just can't. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your money. I can only show you what I'm doing with my money and give you all the advice that my subconscious mind can give you about the charts. Look, there's the 200 MA. We lose the 200 MA. We are bouncing down to 84,150, 83.9, and then back to 83,000. Like, you have to be open-minded to say, I don't know what's going to happen to price. I'm going to trade whatever they give me today. This stays sideways. We break up. I'm winning my long. This goes down. I'm out. It is what it is. I understand the facts of life. I have to play them. We go from there. All right. Buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and hold. That's what I do on the long side. While I'm doing all this, playing games, I'm also buying large amounts of Bitcoin on the lows. You guys saw me buy a whole Bitcoin at $84,000. So, I'm not a guy, a lot of those other guys, they sit there and just leverage. Leverage is only a tool if you know how to trade. Oh, let me get back to the tutorial. All right, so you're going to trade leverage. I'm trading leverage, let's just say. And I'm looking at this here. So I look at the trade and I say, okay, let's say I would like to take the trade. I like the risk on it. It all makes sense to me. I see, okay, I'd like to take profits at 90,091. I'd like to have a stop loss at 83,323. Now watch how this all can change. So I'm going to start at, let's just say I go all the way. I want to be a big boy. And I'm going to trade 100x levy. All right. Let me show you what this does to the trade. So I want to trade 100x levy. I think I'm the best thing since sliced bread. My take profit's going to be 90,124. My stop loss is going to be 83,293. You can see it's red here. It's green up there. It conjoins that. It turns it red. It shows you right there on the board. But you can always link up and see, but it's going to be 83,293. I use the exact numbers that it gave me. Why not? It's all math anyway. All right. Good chance we do get a bounce here off the bottom of the channel. This is where the bots would buy in. It's where the fear is high and people are freaking out. Right? I usually just wait for the 15-minute to, nowadays I've just wait for confirmation of the 15-minute. Now we would drag how much we're willing to win or lose here. Now, if I go with my whole portfolio, I could lose $4,200 or I could gain $1,400. I could, my whole, really $1,500 for $5,000, $450, right? And all that's there. And you can open long. It'll bring you a confirmation window, which I think you should have. And it will show you, hey, your liquidation's at 84,323. And you're like, okay. Where was my stop loss? 83,294.43. Open it again. 84. So you're going to get liquidated before the stop loss. Okay? You're going to get liquidated before the stop loss. You're going to lose the entire position. And it's going to show you your margin is, 40% at $400. So you're going to lose $400 if it goes to 84,351. Understand? You will not be able to make this trade. You will get liquidated. So you bring the leverage down. Let's just say you cut it in half to 50 and you do the same trade. Now you're only 300 for 1,000. But you say, I really wanted, let's just say what I was before, like 450 or 600 for 18, right? Or 2,000. Bang. Now you're going to get liquidated at 83,496 now. It's dropped the liquidation price by 1,000. The trade's still on. You see what I'm saying? You'll still lose 600 to gain 2,000. You just got to put a little more of your money in there. So either use more of your money and keep so either you're using less of your money and the liquidation is rising, forcing you not to be able to even trade because it'll put here, or you're losing less of their money and more of your money, and your liquidation's down here, but it's the same trade. I don't know about you, but I'd rather my liquidation below my stop loss. Okay? So this is how I'm trading. I'm always looking at it in this way. Now, I'd rather go even lower to like, 24, I think I was at right now. To me, it doesn't matter. Anywhere from 20 to 30 is almost the same amount of leverage. You get it because of the way I trade. And then I'd bring this up and I'd bring more of my money now and I'd go 600 for 2,200. Same trade. My liquidation's now 82.5. All right. Now, yes, I use more margin, $1,100. Some people only have the $400. I get it, but then you should just try to do what I'm doing with $1,100 and not try to be a big shot with huge leverage. In my humble opinion, again, we have a leverage mastery trading that they're going to teach you how to use leverage at the highest rate possible. If I was a beginner trader and I was getting you into this, I wouldn't do that at first. I would slowly learn how to trade. I would learn support or resistance. I would learn my, all the things that matter in proper risk management. In this manner, you trade this 10 times, you lose it 7 times. Let's just say you lose 100, you lose $700, but you win it 3 times, you win $900. You'll still be up $200 and only win 3 out of 10 trades. And with my probabilities and my teachings, and if you're really strict with what you do, like I can get you to, I've seen a lot of my students win way more than 3 out of 10 trades, 8 out of 10. So a lot of students in leverage mastery haven't lost a trade. I know you don't believe me. They're using cross leverage and mitigation though. They're like, basically I'd keep 20 grand in this account, only make smaller positions that can get covered by 4 or 5 grand. Every time I get down, I would mitigate by adding more into the position. Again, for me, it's not my trading style. I'd have to sit there and really work at that. It would take me a few months to do it over and over again. I've already made millions of dollars. I don't need to do that. I'm not trying to be rude, okay? If I felt like I had to do that, I would, but I think it's really good for people that are trying to grow small amounts of money, so we offer it in the trading group. So it's really good. And once you know how to trade and you want to up your ante, you want to trade all different stuff, the NASDAQ, I think it's great. So we offer it in the trading group because it's awesome. It's not technically my trading styles for almost a different trading personality, but we have all different trading personalities in the group. Not everyone wants to trade my exact style. I believe I'm the best and my way is the best, of course, because, I'm a winner and winners think like that. But it doesn't mean, I'm also open-minded and believe that everybody has, that everyone's going to win with their own way of winning too. Because I won with my own way of winning, I believe you can too. You see? So because I'm a winner that believes I won in my own way, I believe you're going to win in your own way as well. See, winners believe everyone else is a winner because they know what it's like to win. When I was a loser and I struggled and I really was upset with myself, I felt like the world was full of nasty people. And I couldn't identify a winner because I wasn't one. I wasn't a winner. I just wasn't. Once I started winning and realizing what I was doing with my life, I could recognize when someone else was winning and really respect it and love it and be like, wow, that person's really doing it. Instead of hating on them, When I was down and out, I hated on anyone who was winning. Oh, that person sucks. Their daddy gave it to them. I made an excuse for why they had it. So because I was inadequate, I had to make a reason for why they had it. I had to lie to myself so I felt better, right? Made sense. I was inadequate, so I lied to myself to try to feel better. What all that did was let me know I was a liar, man. You know what I mean? I wasn't true to myself. I was BSing myself. And then what do I do? I would go drink drugs. I would go drink and use drugs because I didn't like the way I felt inside when I knew I was a good person that wanted to do right, but I wasn't being good to myself. You asked me to be somewhere, I would be there 10 minutes early to help you move. All my friends, I was a good guy. Like, I'd help you out. Wasn't that good to myself, though. That's what I learned one day. I said, man, I'm so nice to everybody, but I'm not that nice to myself. I said, why am I so nice to everyone else but myself? Hey, you might be doing the same thing I was doing, right? Bitcoin may be losing this 200 MA on the 15-minute. This is it right here. It's either going to wick here or it's going to dump. And honestly, I see a head and shoulder. You see it? It's slanted, but it's there. And these play out. Looks like we may be going for a ride here back to 83.8, maybe even back down to 84.250. This is it right here. We could be doing one of these. I'm telling you right now, this is it. The other day, remember we bounced off the 15? The epic long. Was it this one here where we got back above it? No, it was the 200 MA. Where is that thing? We're on the 15-minute, aren't we? Yeah. I feel like it wasn't that long ago. There's one right there. We bounce off the 200. So this is it. You can see you take away everything else right now and you just take a breath and you watch. We either lose the 200 and we dump, or we regain this puppy and we get back up. We turn this into an inverted. A shoulder ahead, a right shoulder. We break back up to the upside. Sammy Cup and Hattie to the upside. So this is it here. This is like the day. Wow, Tuesday at 11. And again, this dumps, then the week changes. This pumps, and the week changes. This is going to throw off the entire week and show all kind of where we're likely going to go throughout the week. Looks to me like we're going to be dropping to the downside here if this candle closes. Wait for confirmation of this candle to close. It closes in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. It's going to be a long 10 minutes, I'll tell you right now. Not going to be easy at all. You know what's so funny is my clock got stuck at 11:09. I think it's 11:09 because my computer says it's 11:09. Every time I look down, I think I thought it was 11:03, then 11:09, and I was like, dang man, it's still 11:09. I was like, I think I've been doing this for a long time. I have no idea what time it is. I gotta look at the time now. I don't know what time it is. Let me guess what time it is. What time is it? I have no clue. I've been doing this at 11:09. See, the bottom of my computer froze. It never happened, but it did for whatever reason. And so I can't like change programs. I can't post that thing to the NASDAQ right now, even though I want to. But everything's working here, which is great. This is, if you're a legend, legends buy right here. I mean, that's a legend move. Like we said that the other day, and it was a legend move, right? Buying right at this bounce is like, that is a legend move right there. Let's take a look. Should we be legends? Shall we be legends, shall we? So I believe it's 11:39. All right, let's take a look. 11:50. Wow. I was off by 11 minutes. Wow, it's 11:50. And look, there's me and my dad, man. Since the day he died, man. My pops, man. OG gangster. My pops, bro. My pops, the OG. The old Irish OG. Straight up. You know what I mean? So legends buy the bottom. But, you know, I'm good at confirmations, too. I got to wait for it. You want to see it close above. This looks like it's going to shoulder head. You see the head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. See how it's slanted, but it's there? I never would have seen that years ago. But I'm sure I'm not the only guy who sees that. And that's going to go down to the measured move, likely to, you know, it's starting to dump pretty hard right now as we speak. Bitty Bitcoin taking a beat down here. Losing that 200 MA on that 15. Come on, baby. You got to get back above there. Come on. Legends are legends for good and bad reasons. Amen. I bought 83,490. Hey, I'd rather be a legend for both reasons, man. Well, let's hang out when you get the availability, of course. Shout out to Jamal, man. I love you, brother. You should check out the album by Stephen Wilson Jr. called My Father's Son. Several songs about losing his dad. It's a great album. Thank you for saying that. XCN holding. Yeah, I've been looking at XCN, and it's staying inside this weird flag, but I don't love the flag. See, it's not my favorite type of flag. It's more of like a descending type of flag. You know, these kind of... Wouldn't be surprised if that just dumps. One thing I'm almost saying is that I got right shoulder ahead and left shoulder. And are these multiple right shoulders that just take you down after a rollover? Right? Is it kind of an Adam and Eve with just a shallow slope? It has pumped and it's getting tight. It's definitely worth looking at, but it's not amazing. Let's hope this wick's back above. We want to close this wickage. You know, now that gives me confidence. And so check this out here. I'm going to do a legendary buy here on Bitunix. I'm going to use just a quarter of it. I'm in there. The stop will have to be right below. So one thing that take profit lately has been like taking a second to play in. I don't know why. See? There it goes. The fourth time it hits. I don't know why. So I did this the other day on the stream. We took this exact trade. Let's find it. Let's go find it. I mean, right there, you get above the 200, you call it right there. You're golden. Well, let's find it. It had an exact look to it. There's a nice bounce right there too. But we're looking for the 200. There it is right there. And I said, you're a legend if you buy this, right? And that was a huge pump to the upside. It was magnanimous. What day was that? It was April 1st. All right. I just want to see what day was that on the chart. Today is the 15th and today's a Tuesday. So yes, it wasn't no, yeah. But 14 days was like, oh, that was a Monday, right? It was like a Monday. It's crazy. So I attempt to catch a falling knife right now on Bitunix. Very small amount, $60 for 230 though, right? This is how you grow accounts little by little. So we'll see if we can get this bounce off the 200 here on the 15. Here we go. This would be awesome. Again, not risking a lot, but if we gain, then we add to the portfolio. We also have other trades open. This ain't the only trade. So this just adds to the excitement of the day personally. And, you know, and I'm trading a known signal. I'm not just aping in because I'm waiting. I'm buying the 200 bounce on the 15. I waited all day for that. Right? And I saw the wick. I should wait for confirmation, but I saw the wick. We'll see what happens. I may very well get stopped out and we move on. And the funner of this trade is it's not even about the money. This trade isn't even about the money. It's more about, can you pull it off, right? Like, this trade's exciting to me. I don't know about you guys, but I love this stuff. I live for this. That bounces off the 200 and we rip to the upside. That ends up being the head of the inverted head and shoulder. I mean, it would be so legendary, right? And it took me years to figure any of this stuff out to even begin to pull anything close to this off. And I'm not saying it's even going to be pulled off. I'm likely going to get stopped out, right? Let's be honest. I'm a minnow fighting the whales here, but we'll see what happens. And this is testing strategy. Imagine doing that with like $1 million. I think that would be foolish, right? I'd rather put $1 million into a business and work on it for 5 years. Yeah, maybe I'd make the money quicker here, but I'm not about fast money. I'm about strong money, long money, baby. Long money is made long. That's why they call it long money. It takes you a long time to make it, so it stays long, baby. You know what I mean? When you grow a business and it takes you a long time to grow the business, the money keeps coming from the business grows long. You don't want fast money, you want long money. Amen. Right? You want to take a long time to make your first. You know, I put something in the trading group that really got me excited yesterday. Said I'm right on track. It said, you know, the average multimillionaire made their first million at the average age of 37 years old. Like some 25, some 41, but 37. That's the exact age I did, right? So, you know, I finally seen that net worth absorbed, but 37 years old, right? In billionaires, man. So, like, if you made your first mill at 37, you're still on your track to make billions of dollars. Like you're not. It's not over for you. So here we are, the wick losing the two. You can't have this candle closing below. That can't be happening. The bots have to eat above this. It's a rare sign. A lot of times the bots will get us a push. But you can see collapsing. Now you got to start saying, what's happening on the smaller time frames? Well, we made a bear flag that got rejected. A perfect bear flag that got rejected by the 200 MA. I mean, what else? You know, that's just textbook right there on the 5-minute time frame. One minute is attempting a reversal again with, you know, a cup and handle, and it does the same thing over and over again. It's so insane. There's the divergence with the cup and the handle, the divergence, the cup and the handle, just a smaller version of the same thing here. And you're expecting, and again, if you don't know moving averages, you're freaking out right now. You're freaking out. You have no clue. You're bugging out. You're like, ah. I'm just sitting here calm as a cucumber being like, you better close above that 200 MA on that 15. We have 2 minutes for you to close, candle. And you got a task. Right now, you're back above. You better fulfill that task, boy. I can't look. It's not worth looking. I'll come back in a minute and 5 seconds. Let's take a look at the super chats and see what people are saying and break down into what else is going on in the charts. And this is fun for me. Come on, let's get this bounce, baby. All right, shout out to everybody here that gave a super chat. A lot of awesome super chats here. Unexpected to me. Shout out to everyone here on the live. Thank you for throwing down. I greatly appreciate it. Let me get the likes up to the watchers. We have 666 people on the likes. 2,000 people here on the live. It would be awesome to get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. Update on PVS. I think it's your target, but it's still holding. I believe it could be big, but double top retracement broke my triangle, but maybe fall back into the trend line. Explorer Tara, I love you, man. Thank you for sticking with me on my TA. I love when someone comes in, asks for my TA, and then the next day they rebound with it and say, hey man, it hit your target. That's why people like my channel. They've never seen me before. They ask me to go over a coin that they're really into. I'd say I've never heard about it before, and I give them a level, and we hit that level, and they're like, dang man, this dude hit. We did hit that target. It wasn't perfect. I couldn't call it frame by frame, candle by candle, but we did pretty dang good. We did pretty dang good. Yeah, my keyboard bugged out today. Something happened. I don't know if I hit something or something happened. There we go. I got to grab that now. There's my Discord. I couldn't find it. And I couldn't do the pull up. So this is the next thing I would desire to, this is my next ridiculous achievement. To buy Skyfall, it's $27.5 million. I believe I can do it in under 5 years. Let's do it, baby. That's the next goal, to buy Skyfall, have parties on it, and again, use it, put a down payment on it, finance it, and then use it to pay for itself as a chartered boat. But that's a dream, you know what I mean? Hey, a guy can dream, can he? Skyfall will be mine. They'll know me as Sammy Skyfall. Bitcoin dominance is dominating. It is. I got it in row, so I'm in to hold. Okay, I like to hear that. I got fib extensions, golden pocket at around 0.4, 0.25 on that PVS. Nice. Thank you for saying that. It's very nice of you to say that. Sammy filled his silver cup with cocoa warm. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I said that. Shout out to Oliver. We love you, brother. When I say deep dive into Paraverse Technologies, do it on your own time, not on the stream. I will. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. Very nice of you. And shout out to all the super chats. You didn't have to give, but you did. That's very, very, very nice of you. Blessings on blessings for everyone out here on the live. Wow, look, we may be getting the bounce here for Bitcoin. I may be considered a legend here. Did I do a legendary call? You never know. Let's see. Are they going to play games on that wick and make us think we did it and fake it out? We'll see. So far, we're up 2%. I told you I'm the king of 3%. Show me 3% so we can walk away at 3% and everyone can laugh at me. I told you I'm the king of 3%. Nobody makes 3% more than me, man. Nobody. I tell you right now, I'm the bunny rabbit of king of 3% every day over here. This stuff is funny, man. The Doge dog. No, get the bear out of here. I like the bull. He's chill. I like this one almost the most, though. Because it's me. It's Samuel Adams, right? Hey. No, it's John Adams, right? Yeah, John Adams. Hey. Hey. But America, baby. America first over here. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We appreciate you. No, it's Benjamin Franklin. I'm out of my mind, man. I was like, dude, you don't know who that is? It's Benjamin Franklin, you freaking clown. Sorry, everybody. Dude, we're up 7%. I know who it was, man. All right, I was just having a mind. I'm getting 42. I'm having a mind fart. Benjamin Franklin, all right? I'm an American, I swear. I'm not a cyborg. People are like, dude. I had a mind, it actually looked like John Quincy Adams, I'll be honest. They all look the same the way they draw them. Being honest. So, look, we did possibly catch a reversal here for Bitcoin off of the 200 on the 50-minute time frame. I may have done it again. I may have caught a legendary long here to the upside. Only time will tell, but this is awesome. This is awesome. So, who here loves this legendary long call? We did it like a week ago. So why not do it again? And you get one of these maybe once or twice a month. And again, we got to get back above resistance. Turn this into an inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Let us get out and let us get busy. I would love to come home to a gain. Go to lunch, come home to a gain. It would be absolutely amazing, right? So, yeah, Vital. It was the funniest thing ever, man. Yeah. That short is the funniest thing I've ever seen. She's like, Vital? I'm like, did you just say Vital? Like, oh my gosh. That short had me, like, I'm laughing right now thinking of that. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you make me want to dig that thing up right now. Like, and just put it out. Because we're at the end of the stream. Like, oh my gosh. Wow, we called a beautiful pump back to 85,000. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I want to keep it chill. So there's no, you know, we don't know yet for sure. Dude, we went through Milton. I'm looking at all these crazy shorts. 69,000 subscribers. Mike Tyson's boxing gloves. So much cool stuff. Wow. Dude, Bitcoin pumping. We did damage. I mean, you can't say I didn't provide here with a beautiful live stream. Awesome commentary. And some great education. And Bitcoin bouncing off the key level. Like, if that ends up pushing out, we're legends, man. Look at the outfits are ridiculous. Come on, man. That's absurd. But hold on, I gotta find. That was the funniest short I've ever seen. I don't think I'll ever find it. It was so long ago. Wow, we've done so much work on this channel. It's crazy. There's my wife, though. There she is. These shorts look intense. I can't find it. I'm not gonna destroy the stream now, but it was funny. I'll get it linked up. I could probably search the name of it too in the short section. Wow, man, this channel has gone on for so long. Like, I just can't believe it. It's insane. I've met so many people through this channel. It's crazy. Wow, we've done a lot, man. Gary. All right, I'll never find it. It's in there somewhere. But you can see I definitely wind down. I talk for 2 hours, then I tend to wind down. Man, my dad had just passed right there. Wow, I've been going through a lot. Man. Maybe not then. Celtics won the Super. Wow. I'm reliving my life right now, everyone. I'm like, whoa. Wow, that was a good look for me. I should keep that look right there, right? The bucket. I like that. That dude looks fresh. Fresh out the shower. Wow. That's funny. We should do more funny stuff like that. Wow, we've made so many shorts. I'm grounding. Oh, my old house. I miss my house, man. I moved. Oh, my man Arcane Bear. This guy's awesome. We should dig some more of those up. We should dig some more of these up. These are pretty good. Hanging out in the woods, the walks I would go on in the back. Man, my man Bit Boy, man. Everybody's been on this channel, man. Everyone who's anybody. Reeve Collins, the guy who made Tether. Oh, delete that, please. Crypto Wifer, there she is. There she is. The Vital one's coming. Somewhere in here. The bunny ears is silly, man. I think it was this one, right?
Guys are kind of nerdy, you know? But I'm like the GQ, right? Like, aren't I the hottest guy in crypto right now? Like, don't you think?
I mean, I think you have some competition. What about...
With who?
what's his name? Casper guy? That Casper guy who wears a wife beater all the time?
Jason Casper?
Yeah, I mean, there's.
You think he's hot?
I'm not saying he's hot, but I mean, like, different strokes for different folks. Wait, what about that other guy, Vital?
Vital?
Vital, yeah.
Vital?
You don't know who Vital is? The skinny guy?
Vital?
Vital, Sam.
Vitalik Buterin?
Yeah. You don't think so?
You call Vitalik Vital?
I thought it was Vital.
My wife is so mad at crypto. So big.
The last line's the best, man. Oh, I'm so bad at crypto, man. Oh, man. I saw the other day on Shorts, man. Yeah, it's so funny, man. I had to watch that. Anyway, I love each and every one of you, man. Have a great day. It looks like we may not win now. They're pounding this down, man. This is crazy. And you just got to stick to your convictions. That's why I stick to the moving averages, because they create a solid basis for when they move price wherever they want, up and down, all over the place. But be careful. We lose this level, you know we're going likely down to 84.2, and then we'll go from there. We gain this level, we're coming back up. And then this the long stays strong. So let's see what happens. Another 15-minute candle at 5 minutes. That's going to close pretty bearish with a massive wick from the upside. I don't like seeing that. Let's see if we can eat that back to the upside, turn green, and change the game here in the next few minutes for Bitcoin. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be around. Have you tried the Freedom Boat Club? No, I'm not. I'll check it out. Yeah. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the stream, then you're already doing the right thing. And let's get those likes up to 1,000 likes every single day. There's a chance we called the bottom for the day. There's a chance we called the daily bottom call. I showed you exactly how to get in. We'll go from there. I love each and every one of you. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you on the flip side. Remember, I studied billionaires, multimillionaires, even just successful people that don't, it's not about money, but they've done great things with their lives, true success. School teachers that make 60 grand a year, that are the greatest school teachers known to man, that have changed lives throughout history. All these people, I've studied every one of them. Every one of them has figured out the secret to success. And you know what they figured out? There was one secret, like literally, that every one of them figured out. And it was like, wow, like they all did it, number one. Every single one of them did this, and it led them to multi-millions of dollars. You know what the secret to success is? It's getting started. What are you going to start today to change your life? Crypto is life.